All right, y'all. So look, over the years, I've had like a love-hate relationship with portable projectors because some of them have been good, but most of them have been bad. But I'm always looking for one that has the basics done right as far as like the picture quality, the battery life, portability, design, and also software. And this one that I have here today, the Nebula Capsule 3, does do that for me. Now, Nebula did sponsor this video, but they just sent the projector out to me and told me to capture my experience with it. And hopefully you trust me when I tell you that I really do like this projector, but I'm gonna give you some pros and some cons, some things that I want to see done better with the next version of this. So hopefully they can fix it. But there's a lot of good with this projector, and you'll see here in a second why I say that. All right, so let's get to it and first talk about the design, because that means a lot when it comes to a portable projector. And you can see where it gets its capsule name from because of the round shape of it. It looks like a pill capsule, basically. But I love the fact that this thing is super small, that it will fit in most of my bags that I do carry around. Now, this is 30% larger than the previous Capsule 2, and it does weigh 900 grams, but that extra size is definitely going to be needed to make sure that battery life maintains with the actual picture performance too. So the more goodness you want to stuff into it, of course, it is going to get a little bit bigger, but just generally for me, I think it's a really good, perfect size. However, I do wish that they did include like some type of carrying case or like a sleeve or something for this. But for the most part, I don't have any worries about this thing getting banged up in transport, as long as you're a little careful with how you pack it. And also for inputs, you do have an aux port, a HDMI port, and also a USB-C port that will also be used for charging. Now, as far as battery life, this has a 14,500 milliamp hour battery inside of it, which Nebula is claiming that you'll get around 2.5 hours of video playback. And this is definitely above the standard from my experience with portable projectors in this type of class of projector. So it's definitely good enough to get you through most movies. Now, if you're watching something like Saving Private Ryan, which is like 3 hours long, you're definitely going to want to like plug this into a power source. And don't think you just have to like plug it into the wall either. If you do have like a portable battery pack that can support charging something like this, which it doesn't really need something too outrageous to do that, you'll now be able to just plug this in and you don't have to worry about running out of power during a movie. But let's roll back a second and talk about the rest of the design. So on the back, you'll find a couple of buttons, one being a power button and one being like a pairing button. And then at the top, you will find some touch controls to control the volume and also to be able to navigate the settings, especially if you don't have the remote control with you. And then on the bottom, you will find a mounting point to be able to mount this to something like a tripod, which is my preferred way to be able to use this when I am outside, because I can adjust the legs to be able to get it as even as possible. So you can use this with like a smaller tripod or a bigger tripod. And you don't have to use another tripod, of course. You can find like a mostly flat surface to be able to use this on. But again, a tripod is my preferred way. Okay, so now let's talk about the picture quality. So this uses a laser projection system compared to the typical LED system that you find in portable projectors. So what does this mean? Well, basically laser means that it'll be able to just show the colors that it needs to on the screen. And this allows it to do all of the processing and just be better at some of the other areas that comes with a really good picture quality, like brightness, because this can get up to 300 lumens. And that's compared to the competition, which typically comes in at 200, maybe to 230 lumens. So this is a bright image. And I actually took this out to Forest Park here in St. Louis earlier this morning, and it wasn't completely dark. It wasn't completely bright yet, but it was still a decent amount of sunlight coming through. But as you can see on my little portable screen here, I was still able to get some really good brightness out of it. But even with this extra brightness, I still felt that the black levels were in check. I was very happy with them, along with the general colors that you get from this projector. And the first thing I noticed when I first fired it up is that I wasn't disappointed. And sometimes you feel that way with portable projectors. I didn't feel like I was being cheated out of my experience because I'm sacrificing picture quality for a small size. Oh, and let's talk about setup real quick, because the software on this is Android TV 11, and this makes setup very easy. You can even use the Google Home app to be able to log into your Google accounts, and then boom, you're going to be ready to go in just a couple of minutes. And then also this does support auto keystone and autofocus. So it has a little sensor there on the front, and this allows you to just set this down on the ground or a table or whatever, and then it'll be able to automatically focus in the image and also do a little bit of adjustment, especially if you are on uneven ground. And the correction process for this takes around 3 seconds, so not that long, but you can also do some manual adjustment if you need to. But ultimately, you do want to kind of have this as kind of a setup straight on onto the screen as possible. Maybe you want to put some books and stuff underneath it. But again, in the pinch, when you don't have the ability to be able to really get the projector in the perfect location, these auto correction techniques definitely do help out. Now, after you get this set up, you're probably going to like Android TV like I do, because having this software built in means you don't have to hook up any type of streaming box. You have access to thousands of apps from the Google Play Store. And also this does have Chromecast built in too. And my projector shows that I have around 12 gigabytes of storage, so I can download a few movies or even a couple of games from the Play Store on this if I needed to. And then the remote control that comes with this projector does allow you to use voice control, so it does work with the Google Assistant. So you have a dedicated button on the remote control that you can press down and tell it to open up apps and do other things, and it works very well. And oh, I forgot to mention this earlier, but the highest resolution for this is going to be 1080p at 60 frames per second. So you don't get any 4K here, but if you are looking for 4K, Nebula also sent over this bad boy right here. This is the Cosmos Laser 4K projector. So you get 4K, you get the laser projection system inside of this as well. And also you don't have any built-in battery like the Capsule 3, so this does have to be plugged in, but they do consider this a portable projector. One, because of the overall footprint, the way it sits up and stuff is going to be better to kind of be packed away, but also because it does have this handle here at the top that makes it very easy to hold it one-handed and just be able to move it around to different places. Now, I do wish that this handle was able to be collapsed, so if I am trying to squeeze it into a tight bag or something, it would make it a little bit easier. But, that's a minor complaint that I do have. But overall, as far as portability, I would say that if I'm taking a flight and maybe I'm just using a carry-on bag, I'm taking this Capsule 3 because it saves on space. But if I am going on like a road trip or something, I'm going to be bringing this bad boy right here, especially if I will have a power outlet, because the picture quality that you get out of this is just incredible. And I've seen some other creators already cover this projector, and their reaction was just like mine, and it was wow, because the brightness of this is incredible. It comes in at 2400 lumens, so that's plenty bright to be able to use, especially in the daytime. So if you are at home, maybe you have like a window open next to your projector screen, this will still be able to do a really good job. And this has dual 5-watt tweeters and dual 10-watt speakers, and also does have Android TV as well. So you're able to have access to apps and movies and things like that automatically on the device. And then on the back of it, you will find an aux port, also a USB Type A port, and a HDMI port. And this Cosmos Laser can get up to 150 inches for the screen size, and it also does support HDR10. So all those things as far as the highlights and the shadows are still going to look really good. And this does also support auto keystone and autofocus, and it also does have screen detection, so it'll be able to automatically adjust the image to the screen that you have. In most cases, not all cases, but in most cases, this does work. The remote control for this also does support Google Assistant voice control, and then also you have some dedicated buttons for some popular apps like Netflix and YouTube, Prime Video, and Disney Plus. And the one thing I did notice with the remote controls is that the bigger projector has the smaller remote control versus the smaller projector having the bigger remote controls. And so my suggestion for Nebula is to just offer the smaller remote for both projectors. It doesn't make sense for the smaller projector to have the bigger remote. So if they do that, I'll be happy. And so yeah, this video is centered around the Capsule 3, and I'm gonna get back to that in a second. But yeah, this projector comes in at around $2,200, and for the portability and the picture quality that you're getting, you're really getting a nice package for that. And when I tell you, when you look at the video and image in person, I think most people will be impressed by it. And okay, so right now I'm in the Gansevoort Hotel. I think that's how you say it in New York City on a work trip. But my hotel room is pretty cool because it does have these motorized blinds that look like basically motorized projector screens. But guess what? I did not bring the projector on this trip. So yes, I know, major fail, but this does give me the opportunity to talk about another good use case for this projector when you are staying somewhere like a hotel or an Airbnb, because basically it's a second TV, right? So if you have a TV in your room and basically other people like kids or just other people staying with you don't want to watch what you're watching, you can set up this projector and allow them to watch something on this secondary TV basically. And I know some people might be saying, why don't they just use a tablet or their smartphone? Well, if you have multiple people, it might be kind of hard to kind of be all crouched around maybe a small tablet, but also nothing really replaces having a 40, 50, 60 inch screen or even bigger that you can get with this projector to be able to watch something on. But yeah, I'm so mad right now I didn't bring the projector because this is the perfect setup and the perfect use case. But yeah, if you're looking for a projector room when you're staying in New York City, definitely stay here. All right, so look, for $799, is this Nebula Capsule 3 the portable projector for you? Well, I do have to say that I've used a lot of these over the years, and I will say that the picture quality on this is fantastic. I'm liking the brightness. Sound quality is good, could be a little bit better, but everything else about this, as far as like the size, the build quality, and definitely with that software, I'm finding that this is definitely going to be one of my top recommendations when it comes to a portable projector that's good for using at a campsite, using in a hotel room, or just using at home if you want to kind of like host a party or something and have the projector as a secondary screen or something. This will be good for that as well. But yeah, if you want to pick up one of these or just check it out for yourself a little bit more, I'll leave a link down below in the description box, and make sure you do check that out. But like always, I do want to thank you for watching this video, and I will catch you later. Peace.